Hi, I'm Nick. I'm a base jumper. BASE is an acronym for Building, Antenna, Span, and Earth. B is building, skyscrapers and stuff like that, man-made buildings and apartments and anything in that sort of realm. Antennas is basically antenna towers, so any, like AM, FM. I don't jump a lot of antennas, but one of them you got to stay off of. Like, I think it's AM towers. If you touch it and you touch the ground, it'll zap you pretty good. Span is bridges, so basically jumping off of any fixed object, man-made or natural, but anything not out of an aircraft. And then earth, so basically a big cliff like this, mountains. Right now we are in Granvin, on top of a small mountain cliff, getting ready to jump off soon. Ty, how high is this? High enough? It's just over 100 meters?
Yeah, I think so.
Somewhere like 100 to 120 meters to where you hit, and then, I don't know, maybe another 70, 80 meters after that to landing. In case you're wondering, gravity is low. So this would be more of a subterminal base jump, where we pack in a configuration that the parachute's gonna open up as quick as possible. So you kind of get off, and you're not gonna do much more than like 2 to 3 seconds of free fall for a comfortable opening. And then anything longer than about 5 seconds, you pack for a slower opening because you'll be moving a lot faster. So that's kind of like stuff in Gudvangen and Lewin and stuff like that, where you're reaching terminal velocity and you're going very fast. And that's when you have like your tracksuits and wingsuits when you can actually fly away from.
Holy shit! That's fucking windy!
I'd been skydiving for about 4 years. When I started skydiving, I thought I wanted to base jump. And then the more I learned about skydiving, the more I started to realize how stupid base jumping was. So then that got put off for a while. And then when I moved to Moab, Utah, was around base jumping a lot and watching base jumping and seeing how it happened, and it looked like a pretty good time. So then I started to actually base jump. That was in 2013 and 2014. Just over 600, maybe 650 base jumps, mostly cliff jumps. Skydives, just over 7,000. I enjoy cliff jumping because it's more natural and you kind of get a big adventure and then take the easy way back down rather than having to hike. But buildings are really cool in the way that it's like pretty renegade, and you kind of like sneaking around and getting on top of this skyscraper and then jump off like Batman into the city. Base jumping is inherently pretty dumb for what it actually is, but once you kind of see the bigger picture and know more of the training that is behind being able to base jump and get to do the things that we do, it's all actually pretty calculated. So like when we came here to find this base jump in particular, we come with like a range finder to see exactly how high it is, where the rocks are, scope out a good landing area. And as long as you can mitigate some of that risk that the reward is going to be worth it, then go for it. And other jumps, if you get there and it's like, well, this is like a very high consequence area, you can always walk away and go find something better to jump off of.
You ever think about the consequences that could happen?
Yeah, definitely. I've kind of been fortunate in the way that I haven't had any accidents in base jumping. Definitely a few close calls, but that kind of comes with. And through that, you learn what did you do that kind of almost cost you, and then it definitely sticks in your head, and you don't usually make that same mistake twice. But have seen people have cliff strikes, run into cliffs, run into buildings, not have the greatest landing, which sucks, but it's kind of part of it. And we just do everything that we can to not do it ourselves and make sure that our friends are gonna make good choices and not hurt themselves as well. Gear checks are cool, so we kind of double check our gear and make sure everything's gonna work in the way that we want, more or less. And then always getting a high five before you leave, because you know, we do take it seriously and try to be pretty safe about it, but at the end of the day, anything could happen. So a good high five and love you, man, and send it off, have some fun. And then high fives in the landing area.
Fuck yeah! Go, guys, that was sick!
I think the coolest thing about Extreme Sports Week is the amount of cool stuff everybody's doing in such a tight area. You know, like maybe a 50-kilometer radius from town, and there's people doing almost literally every extreme sport that there is to do, all in such a tight area. And then everybody gets together at the end of the day, have a beer, enjoy all of the gnarly stuff everybody was doing. And while some of it is a bit reckless, and some people could say that it's kind of like cheating death or flirting death, the idea is to get back home at the end of the day and enjoy a beer, drink with your friends, and watch the video and see what everybody's gotten up to. So that's really cool.